welcome back to my channel. I'm Neva, and this is my cozy little corner of the internet, and today is our weekly WIP and chat. But before we do that, I'm going to unbox this package. My tray is sitting on top of it because I had to open it from the top, and you can see my name and my address. I don't care if you see my name, but you can see my address. Y'all don't need to know that information. So we're going to unbox this. This is the second out of 3 prizes that I won in my prize package from Pink and Black 2026. So I've already shown you the tray that I won, which was this tray from BESTIES Diamond Den. Super cute event tray. And then I also won a gift card to, oh my gosh, I'm going to say it wrong. Diamond Design Co., I believe, is the shop. I'll try to remember to link them down below. They sell diamond paintings. I don't think they sell any accessories. What I want from them are actually some minis, but I haven't purchased anything with that gift card yet, so when I do, I will unbox them and show them to you. And then I also won a diamond painting roller from Black Dahlia Designs, I think. Black Dahlia Diamond Art. Sorry, Black Dahlia Diamond Art. And I was able to pick from a pink one or a black one. So that's what we're going to unbox here. I let Ari pick the color. So that is where we're going with that. So I'm going to put my hand over the top of this, and we're going to open this up. And yeah. Whew, bless me. So sorry. Okay. So we're going to open this up and see what is in here. So we have... I'll just set this to the side. So we have this Black Dahlia Diamond Art card. So it's got their Etsy shop, their Facebook group, which is so fun. I'm going to join that. And then their Instagram, which I do follow them on Instagram. And then on the back here, it just says some information about Shell and their shop and everything. So I'll read that later. But that is so fun. Okay, then we have... Oh, we have some extra stuff at the bottom. Okay. Oops. I knocked over my microphone. So sorry if that was so loud. Okay, then we have this cute sticker, which I'll add to my sticker box. Love stickers. And a a congratulations card. It just says congratulations on it. That matches the... It actually matches the Black Dahlia Diamond Art card here. I actually have looked at their shop before because they sell a lot of storage solutions for diamond painting, like 3D printed storage solutions, and I want to order a few. So, alright, here is the piece de resistance, y'all. Okay, so this is a diamond painting roller. I've actually never used one. I use like binder clips to keep mine together, so I'm not 100% sure how to use this, so I'm going to look up a video, and I'm actually going to put this on my diamond painting that I'm using right now, which this is my damaged diamond painting. That's what we're going to diamond paint today. And this was actually the original art piece that I used for Black and Pink, so that's so fun. But it just says Black Dahlia Diamond Art. I don't know if you can really see it. And then it says Pink and Black, Team Black, and then it has their logo on it, and over and over and over again, which is really, really cute. So, and they alternate, so it'll be like Team Pink on the left and Team Black on the right, and then it'll switch over. So that is really fun. Okay, so like I said, I let Ari pick my color. She picked black. She said that she thought that black matched everything better than pink did. If I'd been able to order one, I probably actually would have ordered one in each, but these are super cute. So thank you to Shell, and also thank you to Mushmallow and Crappyish Kristen for having this event, because honestly, I've only won one other thing in an event, and it was a little thing of wax, which I still have, and I hold very dear to my heart. So it was so fun to watch and to win these 2 things. And I also have a gift card, but I haven't bought anything with that yet. So I'm going to actually pause really quick, and I'm going to go try to figure out how to put this on my canvas so I can use it today. And then we will come back and we will actually start the WIP and chat. Okay, we are back in business, y'all. Alright, so sorry. I had to figure out how to put the roller on, but I got it on. You're not able to see it, but it is on. So that is one thing I'm using this time, is my Black Dahlia Diamond Art roller from Pink and Black, and we're going to be working on the damaged diamond painting. So we're going to be working on this section here, like her hair and like a little teeny tiny bit of her face, not very much, but just this section here, because I am working on a dark section down here, but I don't want to work on that on camera. It's very boring to watch, so I'm not going to make y'all watch that. So we're going to move up here to this section of her hair. It's a little more fun. It's got some ABs in it. Oh, I should have said what this is. So like I said, this is our weekly WIP in chat. WIP, WIP, stands for work in progress, and chat is simply to chat. We're going to sit here for around an hour or so, and we're going to WIP in chat, I guess. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. Like I said, I'm working on damage. I'll show you a full picture here. This is what it looks like. Very cute. I love this painting. The painting is upside down for anyone who's like, girl, what's going on? It is upside down because I'm working from the top at this point, because I've only have these last 3 sections. So let me open up this section, and then we'll go over all of my accessories. So my coverminder is from Pure Bliss Wax Co. That is where my coverminder is from. You can get your own over on Pure Bliss Wax Co. There is a link down below in my description. This and the putty that I'm going to be using today, which I will grab, which is this putty, Golden Vanilla Putty. These are both from Pure Bliss Wax Co. These are my channel's signature scent and scent of putty, and for your multi-placer, and coverminder. So if you want to grab your own, I do make a little bit of commission off of the purchases from that, but there is a link down below. I also have my Diamond Pen Pal Harley Quinn pen. This is my favorite pen and currently the only custom pen I can find. I do have a unicorn one somewhere, but she seems to be gone elsewhere. For my AB drills, I do have 2 Pretty Placer crayons. So I have one in Forbidden Woods, which is this green color, and one in Love Letters, which is this red color. And actually, fun fact, this Love Letters one I bought around this time in 2024. They had just shut their shop down right after, so I don't know where you can get crayons like that now, because Pretty Placer is closed, unfortunately. And then I'll show you the trays that I'm using, because I have actually 4 trays. So I have this one, which I'm using for my trash. This is just a Christmas mini tray from Bijou Bliss. And then also from Bijou Bliss, I have this pink mini tray these were the gingerbread house trays that were exclusive to Christmas 2025. So I have that one for any like really small amounts of drills. And then I have my big Drills and Chills tray from Bijou Bliss. This was the Drills and Chills 2025 tray. And then I have my Ditsy's Diamond Den Pink and Black 2026 tray. And this is the one I won this, so it's really cute on the inside. I probably will actually use this one because it doesn't look like I have a ton of coloring for any of these, so it'll probably be these 2 that I use the most. But and I will say, because someone asked me about this when I unboxed this, I do believe that Ditsy's Diamond Den carries the yellow dog design trays now, which I think is the kind of tray that this one is. I think that's like the style of tray. I never was able to order from that shop, so but I'm pretty sure they like have the files for that now. So okay, so and then in my multi-placer, like I said, I have my Pure Bliss Wax Co. I have my signature putty, and in my single placer I have, which this is a Diamond Art Club 4 placer, and then this is a single placer And I have scented glue dots from Oh Snap Crafters Cafe in there. I have about 1.5 glue dots in here. And you can order these specific tips when you order the regular glue dots. So hopefully that answers everything. I'm going to set this over here, put that out of the way, and I think we're going to get started. I'm really sorry because I know there's a glare like right here. I'm going to see if maybe I can adjust so that the glare is less. But I kind of have to have the light pointed. Okay, so I apologize for the glare. Hopefully you're just like not watching me. Oh, I tried with the glare. I apologize for the glare. Okay, so hello. Okay, so let's figure this out. So I do have some tag questions that we are probably going to do. But first I'll do a little bit of like a life update, I guess. So personal life update, there isn't really one. February is a weird, sad month for me. So, for anyone who doesn't know, my mother passed away unexpectedly in 2020. And, this week marks the 6-year anniversary of her passing. So, and then next week is her birthday week. So, this is just a really weird time for me. It looks like there's like going to be a lot of line blocking in this section. And a little bit of confetti. Alright. Well, it'll be fun to watch, I guess, because you're going to just watch me switch colors every 5 minutes. Anyway, so this is just like a really weird time. A lot of like emotions, which I'm not going to talk about because I'll start crying. And, yeah, that's kind of it. Obviously, it's also Valentine's Day week, so happy Valentine's Day to anyone who celebrates or observes. Yeah, so there's not really a lot going on. I know that next Monday the kids will be out of school, because it's President's Day, so it's always interesting when the kids only have like one day off from school because I have to kind of figure out my work schedule with that, since like they'll be home, so I have to work with them home. Sometimes that can be a little bit difficult, but that's that. And then I mean, everyone is good. My dad is still gone for another week, so it's just me and the kids. So by the kids, I mean my 2 younger brothers, one of which is like 23 years old. So like, is he really a kid? You know what I'm saying? But, and then my 17-year-old brother, and then of course Ari. We're just here hanging out. My dad went to visit his partner in New York, so yeah, he'll be back sometime next week, I think. I think he comes back on like the 18th or something. So yeah, it's been mostly quiet. The brothers come up here and they like ask questions when they need things, but for the most part, it is pretty quiet if my dad's not home. Honestly, it's pretty quiet if my dad is home. But yeah, so that's kind of all that's happening as far as that goes. As far as diamond painting goes, hopefully I'll be ordering new diamond paintings this week. I have a few sitting in my cart, just waiting for me to hit the order button. I have some things for Ari in there, because she wanted the stickers. So Diamond Art Club does stickers. I think they call them like Easy Gem or something. But the stickers are really, like, the gems on them are really big. And I have gotten her some similar ones off of, like, Amazon. that's like one of the things I don't really mind purchasing off of Amazon, because they're not, I don't buy her anything that's like Disney or anything like that. But I bought her like some generic like what are they called? Halloween ones. They're actually like affixed to my wall right now, which is fine. Like I told her she could, but she really likes the stickers. I think just because they're an easy off canvas project for her, but I am looking into some larger paintings as well. She has done some like framed paintings before. She's been sent them from her wish list, because I do put diamond paintings and stuff like that on her wish list that I think are age appropriate. She just gets a little bit discouraged because she's not super like, she hasn't been diamond painting like consistently for a long time, so she has a little bit of trouble with making her rows even. I guess she likes to try to compare herself to me, and she'll say like, "Oh, your lines are so straight," and I'm like, girl, I've been diamond painting since 2023, and also I spent a lot of time single placing. There was like a long time where I didn't use a multi-placer at all. And she kind of tried to like jump off the deep end and like start just multi-placing. I think the multi-placer she grabbed was like a 7-placer, and I was like, girl, no, mommy doesn't even use a 7-placer. So yeah, so as far as diamond painting, I am still working on this kit, obviously, which is damaged, and then I have a few more rows of makeup routine as well. And listen, let me be really transparent. I was a little bit discouraged at the end of January when the only kit that I finished was a carryover from December. So I did attempt to do my last WIP and chat, was supposed to be a month in review. And for some reason, when I exported the file for my video, it did not export the images. Like I had affixed like pictures of things over the top of my WIP and chat, and for some reason it didn't export like it was supposed to. So there are no images. Like, and I know that in the video I was like, oh, I'll show you like a picture of this or a picture of that or whatever. I'm sorry, I have to sit on my leg. I'm adjusting here. Oh, life with chronic pain. And then there were no images, and I didn't realize it until I went back and I rewatched the video. So I am trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. I know I put in my community tab that I was going to film a video this week. I don't think I'm going to. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do quarterly check-ins, and I'm going to explain to y'all why. Because I was like, okay, we can do monthly reviews. Like I'll be getting like at least 2 diamond paintings done a month. But I didn't take into consideration the size of diamond paintings that I was going to choose to do in 2026. So I looked through my logbook, which I made like a makeshift logbook in my weekly planner. And the reason I did that is because the planner system that I have currently, which is, I'm like reusing a planner system. I'm not going to try to explain that. I haven't done a planner flip through because I haven't actually gotten a 2026 planner. I'm using an old planner system that I've used before, but that planner system no longer exists. And so because of that, I don't want to share it on the internet and then have people be like, oh my gosh, review this planner system. That planner system, like, I don't think you can even purchase it anymore because it wasn't updated for 2026. We had it in 2024 and 2025, and then the shop owner announced that she wasn't going to be continuing it, which kind of sucks because I really loved that planner system. But I will figure out how to use a new one once I've purchased one. So anyhow, I made my own digital logbook because eventually I would like, in 2026, I would actually like to have my friend Kristen, who makes my reading journal, I would like her to create me a logbook, but I need to know that's similar like to my reading journal. But I have to figure out what I want in the logbook, like what is relevant to me to actually keep track of in a logbook, right? So I've been kind of playing with that and trying to figure out how to do that. So I have been making, which I guess I could actually pull it up. Let me actually pull up my iPad and I'll show you. I might have to zoom out. Okay, so I'm going to show you this really quick. I guess I don't have to zoom out. Okay, so this is my logbook. I know this is a really weird angle. It's because of how I have the camera angled. But this is my logbook. Let me see if I can use this one. Here we go. Okay, so this is the logbook that I've made here, and I really like this setup. So basically I've made a page, and these are my daily hours. You can ignore that. I do need to actually update this for yesterday. I guess I could do later, but I'm going to do it really quick while I'm thinking about it. So, okay, so obviously I have like the picture of the actual canvas, which I just grabbed off the DAC website, and then I have the name of the piece, the artist, the start date. I'll put my end date when I finish it, and then we get into size. Okay, so to me, I was like 55.8 centimeters by 83.8 centimeters shouldn't be that big, right? It should not be that humongous, which in inches, that is 22 by 33 inches. So I was like, okay, yeah, push size, like that's not like the biggest diamond painting you could ever do. But what you have to kind of keep in mind is how many drills are on the canvas. Not necessarily the size of the canvas, but how many drills. So anything over 40,000 drills is considered a large canvas. Okay, so this canvas by itself is 59,501 drills. So that means that there are 59,501 of these little diamonds that I have to place on this canvas. Now, it doesn't feel like that many when you're doing it, but that means that this is a large canvas. So it, and to me, like 43 colors, that's not that many colors, like whatever, it rolls around. So I went back and I looked. Now, this is from Christmas Candy Shop. This was the only kit that I finished in January. I finished this kit in January, but it took me a month and 4 days to finish it. So I started December 3rd and I finished it January 7th. And I was like, I should have been able to finish Damaged or the other one I'm doing, which is Makeup Routine, both of which I started in January. So I started Damaged January 13th and I started Makeup Routine January 17th. Now that was because the reason there's a little bit of a lapse there is because I had to wait for them to ship to me. So I was actually working on the Batman canvas that I have, which my partner is now working on. And so because I had that canvas, I was working on that while I was waiting. So between the 7th and the 13th, I was, for like 2 weeks, I was working on Batman, but I didn't have that logged in here. I hope that makes sense. So we get to the end of January and I'm like, girl, you only got one painting done like the whole month. Like, that's crazy. But then I realized that all of these have more than 50,000 diamonds. Christmas Candy Shop has 57,000 diamonds. Damaged 59,000, and Makeup Routine 57,000 again. So, and actually, I don't know if that's, I'm gonna have to look at this. That's crazy. So Christmas Candy Shop and Makeup Routine are the same size, 57,772 diamonds, and they're the same size, 55.6 by 78.7. That's really crazy. I wonder if that's just like across her. I wonder if like her diamond paintings just kind of are the same. But anyway, I digress. So I was like, okay, so all I've been doing, I'll put this away and we'll get back to diamond painting, but all I've really been doing in 2026 are really large canvases. So I was like, okay, this is why you're not getting more than one done, is because I'm doing large canvases, and it's not like I'm doing small canvases in between, because I haven't bought any small canvases. I am going to do Mini DP Madness in March, which is all about mini kits. And I did just watch their announcement video because I didn't do Mini DP Madness last year. And I needed to see, like, do you have to have a fresh start? Like, how does this work? But you just have to complete 6 canvases, 6 mini canvases. So that's in order to, like, qualify for the grand prize or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I already have a set. So even if, like, I'm not able to order another set before Mini DP Madness, which I might be, I'm hoping to be able to order one more set just so that I have a little bit of variety. I do have a paint gem set that I've only done 2 of, and it comes with, like, I don't know, 16 or something. So I could actually continue working on those throughout February and still have enough I could do 10 of them in February and still have enough to qualify for Mini DP Madness. But anyway, so I was like, okay, this is ludicrous that this is, like, you've only gotten 1 done. And then I did look, I was watching someone else's, like, someone's year in review, which I did a year in review, and I got 7 canvases done in 2025. So some of them were small, some of them were really large. Like, actually, majority, if I remember, were considered large diamond paintings. So I was watching someone else's because I love to watch year in reviews. I'm going to use my little tray. But I love to watch year in reviews. And so I was watching, and she was giving a lot of stats. So I love stats. I am a stats girl. I love stats when it comes to reading. I love stats when it comes to crafts. I love stats just in general. And she was giving all of these different stats. And she was talking about, like, okay, so a diamond painting with this many drills in it, like with 20,000 drills or less, is considered like a small diamond painting. Anything with 20,000 to 40,000 is considered a medium size, and anything 40,000 or more or more than 40,000 is considered a large painting. So that's when I went in my logbook and I looked. And I was like, listen, man, all you've been doing this year are large paintings. So that's why I'm not getting as many paintings done. I'm not a super fast diamond painter. So that's, like, another thing for me, is that I would like to be a fast diamond painter. And I think when I was doing a lot of small paintings, I was fast because I was doing a lot of small paintings with round drills, and I just didn't have a lot of variety at that time. Because I think even when I would have to go back and, like, look in my Gems Flow, because that's how I used to keep track, was in Gems Flow. But I think even when I did, like, my really large, like, my girl paintings, from Raw Sushi and Diamond Art Club, even when I did those ones, I got them done, I think, in, like, a week. But I think it's because I literally wasn't doing anything else. Like, at that time, diamond painting and listening to audiobooks were really my only hobbies. And so because of that, I was able to just lock in on diamond painting. And so that made me a faster diamond painter. I thought I saw one. This is very confetti, this section. So it's, like, very random spots. And then there's, like, a lot of line blocking. Anyway. So I think that because of that, I got faster at diamond painting, but then because I stopped what I'm trying to say. I stopped doing really small paintings all the time. I started doing larger paintings. And then last year in 2025, I just did a big like stash clean out. I didn't really advertise it. I don't even think that I really intended to do a stash clean out. That's just kind of what happened. Was I got back into diamond painting and I was like, okay, well, I can't buy any paintings right now, so I will just clean out what I have. And in total, I got 7 paintings done, which is about what I had left in my stash. Technically, I had, I think, like 9 or 10 paintings left in my stash because Batman did not get done by the end of 2025, and neither did the 1 HP canvas that I still have. He's kind of indefinitely on hold at the moment. It was suggested to me by someone else that finished that canvas to single place the entire canvas because I'm having a lot of issues with gapping. It is an older kit. And she was like, well, I single placed the whole thing. Maybe that would help. And I just have to be in the headspace to do that. And then I have a Santa painting that I wanted to work on in 2025, but we could not find it. And then we happened to find it, but it was like the day before Christmas or something. And I was like, I'm not going to kit this kit up, start working on it, and then have to put it away because it's Santa, so like it's very Christmas. It's not like Christmas candy shop where I was able to kind of just bring it over into the new year and say, oh well, you know, it's just a festive candy shop. Like theoretically, like after Christmas they would have taken down all the decorations. Like I could justify it in my brain. I couldn't justify doing a giant Santa canvas into January. I may bring him back out in July if I decide to do Christmas in July. I've done Christmas in July in like the book community for years, and I like doing Christmas in July, so that may be my project that I work on for Christmas in July. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Is I'm thinking about just doing quarterly wrap-ups instead, like quarterly reviews, quarterly in review, just because I'm not getting a lot of diamond paintings done, and I just feel like it's a little bit boring to be like, I got 1 diamond painting done this month, and here's my WIPs, and they're like the same WIPs that they've been. I do know that the next time that I do a diamond painting order, I'm going to be ordering square paintings because the last 2 orders that I've done have been round only, and that's mostly because I know that rounds go faster for me. But there is a Randall Spangler that I'm really wanting, and he is a square. And then there's also a new Mrs. Butter D that is currently sold out. If it was to come back in stock, I would grab that. That's a square. And then there's a Harley Quinn and Ivy painting that I've wanted since it came out last year. I think it came out either last year or 2024, and I've been wanting it. And it's a Pride one, obviously, but I will do Pride paintings all year. I really do not care. But I'm actually so obsessed with Harley Quinn. If you didn't know that, you do now. I'm actually so obsessed with Harley Quinn, and the fan art that was, or the artwork that is done for this is, it coincides with like the Harley Quinn HBO Max show, which honestly is one of my favorite shows. I absolutely love the Harley show on Max. It is not for children. I've had this question be asked of me before, if it's for kids. No, it is definitely made for adults. Like, it is a cartoon, but it's made for adults. But I love it. It's one of my favorite shows to like rewatch. I've actually rewatched it a few times. And yeah, I really love it. So that's that. So let me think if there's anything else. I don't think so. So we're going to do, alright, we still have a little bit of time, so we're going to go ahead and do some of these tag questions. So the tag questions are from Sarah over at Caffeine Queen Crafts, and she is doing an event this month that is called Fandom February. I am taking part in this, so the rules for this are very loose. Sarah basically has said it can. So I thought originally that we were going to have a painting from a specific fandom, which I did have a painting that I could have used. I didn't really want to use it for this because I'm not advertising this specific fandom on my channel, but I knew I had a painting that I could take out of hold and I could use if that was the premise. But the premise of Fandom February is anything that you are a fan of. So not necessarily a true fandom, if that makes sense. So she was like, if you have a favorite artist who does diamond paintings, you can do that. If you, of course, if you like are a part of a fandom, so things like Star Wars or Hello Kitty or something like that, then there's that. Obviously licensed artwork is very highly encouraged. I personally only do licensed artwork. So that was not an issue. So I was like, okay, this will work for me because I can do the two paintings I'm already working on. So I have this painting and my Mrs. Butter D painting, makeup routine. And honestly, both of these artists have become favorite artists for me. So this artist is Enes Guerrera. It's the same artist that did the Not Your Alice painting that I did last year for Drills and Chills. And then obviously everyone knows who Mrs. Butter D is, but I did her Christmas candy shop painting. Well, yeah. And I really loved this one as well. So those are the two that I'm using for Fandom February. And Sarah made some tag questions. So I did not get tagged, but I'm going to go ahead and do the tag questions anyway, because why not? I did watch Sarah's video last week where she did the tag questions, and I will try to remember to link her down below. I will at least link her channel down below. Yeah, hopefully I'll remember to do that. Hopefully I'll at least link her channel down below, because then you can find her videos. She does a lot of awesome videos. I really love watching her. So the first question is, there are 8 total questions. So the first one is, what is your current favorite fandom? Like true fandom? Probably Grey's Anatomy, to be honest, but this can fluctuate depending on the time of year. So, like, currently, probably Grey's Anatomy. I am really deep into my rewatch of Grey's currently. Love Grey's, love everything about Grey's. It rips my heart out. It makes me laugh. I don't know. I love Grey's Anatomy. But again, this can fluctuate because, like, if I was to answer this same question in, like, the fall, it would be Gilmore Girls. So, for me, yeah. And then, like, fandoms that I'm always a fan of are, like, Hello Kitty, Harley Quinn. Like, those are just, like, my default, like, fandoms. But I think the one that I'm, like, really deep in the trenches with right now is Grey's Anatomy. And I think it's mostly just because I'm doing another rewatch. I don't even know what season I'm on. Season 5, maybe. And every time I rewatch Grey's Anatomy, I forget how long certain story arcs go. Like, there are things that have not happened yet that I was like, I thought this happened in season 3. But it's okay. It's fine. I just forget how long some of the story arcs go and, like, have to go in order to be, like, to make sense, you know? Number 2 is, what was your first fandom? So my first fandom that I actually remember would probably have been, it's such a toss-up between these 3. and someone's going to laugh at me when I say it, but it's going to be a toss-up between Star Wars, X-Men, and Sailor Moon. And the reason that I say it's a toss-up is because I'm not actually sure which one. So my sister's dad, my first stepdad, was obsessed with Star Wars and X-Men. Like, we had all of the, I think he still had, like, they still have them. But anyway, we had, like, all of the VHS tapes for X-Men and Star Wars. I had, like, a whole Lego case that was nothing but Star Wars, like Lego Star Wars, like before like Lego Star Wars was like a real thing, you know. This was like the 90s. Okay, I had a whole case that was full of the stuff, but I think my first like fandom that I was truly a fan of was probably Sailor Moon. And then with X-Men, I was really obsessed with Storm. Like, I still am. Like, she's my favorite character. But I do think that my first fandom that was, like, truly a fandom I chose was Sailor Moon. To this day, I love Sailor Moon. If I see, like, an image or something, like, I have so many Sailor Moon paintings saved to my wish list on Jaded Gem Shop, because like if I see an image of Sailor Moon, yeah, actually it's probably between Sailor Moon and Hello Kitty for my very first fandom, because I also love Hello Kitty. Okay, sorry about that. I got interrupted, but okay, so I'm pretty sure I already answered the first fandom question, so we're gonna move on to number 3, because I don't actually remember what I was talking about. Number 3, what's a fandom you're embarrassed you ever liked? Okay, so this could be like a twofold question, because my easy, like, off the cuff answer is that there isn't one. I'm not really a person who is easily embarrassed by things that I have enjoyed, even if later they turn out to be super problematic. This is usually what happens for me with fandoms, is I will like a fandom and then I find out later that they are problematic for whatever reason, and I will just stop talking about the fandom. So this has happened with a couple of them. So we're going to talk about this very briefly, and then just know that the fandom, this one in particular, I do not promote on my channel. I do not talk about it on my channel. This will be literally the only time that it even gets really brought up, or quote unquote highlighted, I guess. But it's not an embarrassment for me exactly. It's just a fandom that I have realized that the author of the books that are part of this fandom, or that are this fandom, the creator of this world, which is the author of the book series I'm going to talk about, is very problematic, really not a great person, and so I do not highlight this fandom on my channel, but it was one of my earliest fandoms, and that is Harry Potter. So I'm not embarrassed that I was ever part of this fandom. I am sad by all of the issues with like the books and stuff, which obviously as an adult I recognize, and also with how awful the author has turned out to be. And if you want like more context to that, Google it, because she is very outspoken about her problematic stances and her disgusting opinions and views. We're not going to go into that here, but I'm not going to say that I'm embarrassed that I was part of this fandom, simply because, honestly, a lot of my childhood is rooted in this fandom, and so, yeah, I'm not going to say, also, like, the good memories that I have with my mother, kind of revolve around, like, this fandom is part of that, along with, like, other things, like Gilmore Girls and House and things like that. but like this was the first, it was the first like book series that my mom and I read like entirely together, and then we would reread every year, like literally up until 2019, because then she passed in 2020, so we wouldn't have even started it. We'd already started our reread for 2019, but we were not quite done with it when she passed. So that's that. I mean, I guess I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed to be a part of this. Like, it'd be like, I don't know, like something like Twilight, I guess. But again, like, I'm not really embarrassed that I was part of the Twilight fandom. I'm not really embarrassed that I was part of the HP fandom. Like, like I said, I'm not easily embarrassed. Like, I'm a believer, you know, and like, I love Justin Bieber, but like, I'm not embarrassed by that. So, I don't know. I'm not easily embarrassed. I like the things I like. I don't like the things I don't like. And that's kind of just how I go through life, I guess. So I don't know if that's kind of like a cop-out answer, but yeah. Oh, I missed a bunch of ones. Okay. Number 4, what fandom has sparked the most creativity in you? I mean, is diamond painting a fandom? I don't know if diamond painting would be a fandom. The most creativity in me. This is interesting. I think that if we're going off of, so, okay. I'm not sure exactly how to answer this question. So maybe Gilmore Girls, because so when I started my YouTube channel, I had a Gilmore Girls themed TBR game, which I've thought about bringing back, but there was some stuff that happened behind the scenes that I've never actually talked about openly, and I'm not going to. That happened revolving around my Gilmore Girls game, and also just like around the fact that like my Patreon originally was Gilmore Girls themed, and then there was some stuff that happened. So like I said, I'm not going to talk about it publicly on the internet, because partly because I don't have proof that this person did it on purpose. I do feel that they did do it on purpose, thinking they could get away with it, because their channel was a lot, and I'm probably still is, a lot bigger than mine, and like definitely at the time their channel was a lot bigger than mine. But yeah, probably Gilmore Girls, because when I first started YouTube, I really wanted my own TBR game, and I made a whole TBR game that revolved around Gilmore Girls, and there was like a game board, like it was super fun. And then I've attempted, I don't think any of them have come to fruition, but I have had other ideas for like videos and stuff that I could do that have to do with Gilmore Girls. So probably the one that has sparked the most creativity in me is Gilmore Girls. I love Gilmore Girls, and it's sort of built in for people that love to read or cozy hobbyists, just because of the nature of like what the show is, you know. So yeah, probably that one. Sorry, my phone shut off, and I need the question. All right, question number 5: has a fandom ever broke you? Yes. So I have a few fandoms. Grey's Anatomy is one. It doesn't matter how many times I've rewatched Grey's Anatomy. The same things will always break me or like make me cry. Again with HP, that one, there is some stuff that happens, especially like in the 7th book, that is really like heartbreaking and makes me cry. Hunger Games, the books did. Hunger Games, the movies, not as much. And I think it's because, so to me, Hunger Games, the movies, the original trilogy, because I've not actually seen the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I probably will. I'm not a huge fan of, I can't remember her name right now, but the girl that they cast in the main role as Lucy Baird, I'm not a huge fan of her. Yeah, just for my own reasons, but I'm not a fan of her, and so I haven't seen Battle of Songbirds and Snakes, but I probably will watch it before Sunrise on the Reaping comes out, because I do actually want to see Sunrise on the Reaping in the theater. So yeah. Anyway, the original trilogy of movies to me felt like more of a companion to the books. There were a lot of people that I know that had only seen the movies that were like, I think I'm going to have to change my putty, that were like, I don't understand what's going on. And I think it's because we don't get a ton of explanation in the movies. And I think the reason for that is because when they made the movies, they kind of expected that the people watching the movies would have read the books. So to me, they've always felt more like a companion than like an actual, like, straight adaptation. People can argue with me on, well, I mean, don't argue with me, I'm not going to argue, but people can disagree with me on that if they want to, but that's just how I feel. So the movies didn't break me quite the same way as the books did. But I think that's just because in the nature of the books, we're getting way more detail. So that's that. But I mean, I have most fandoms that I follow will make me cry for one reason or another, but Grey's Anatomy is probably the one that really broke me, because I had been spoiled for a lot of the things that happen in Grey's Anatomy, and actually watching the things happen was completely different than being told. Because when you're watching a show, at least for me, when I'm watching a show, I get attached to our characters. Whatever characters we're supposed to be following, closely, I get attached to them. They become like part of me, right? So they become like my friends or my family or whatever. However we're supposed to interpret them in the show is how they reflect back on me when I'm watching the show. And I know not everyone is like this. Okay, I am like this. I'm like this with books also. Like, I get very attached to my characters that I'm reading about. And so a lot of times, if there's a lot of things happening to these characters, I will cry when they cry. I will be angry when they're angry. Like, it's very much a reflection. Their feelings and emotions I reflect those back while watching or while reading or whatever. So I would probably say that any fandom that has some kind of like tear-jerky moment has made it so that I am broken by the end. So there's that. Number 6, what's the most niche fandom you've ever been a part of? The most niche? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm part of any niche. Because these would be like fandoms that like people don't really know of, right? Like, that's a niche fandom. Honestly, not recently. But when I first found... Now, these are like singers, okay? So if you don't know who they are, that just tells me that it's still a little niche. So when I first found Alexandra Kay, who is an independent country artist, she's not independent anymore, but she was independent when I found her, and Savannah Dexter, who is an independent country rap artist, I found them both in like 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. I found them during the pandemic. And at the time that I found them, they were very, very niche. Like, if you were not following them via like social media, so TikTok or Instagram, you didn't know who they were. Savannah Dexter, I had actually heard of because at the time I lived in Florida, and I was not too far from where Savannah Dexter lived in Florida. And so I had friends that listened to Savannah Dexter and were like, if you like Black Bear, you'll like Savannah Dexter. And if you don't know who Black Bear is, he is a rapper from Daytona Beach, Florida, who I have actually met. He would have no idea who I am. But I have friends in Florida that knew him before he was famous. And so I have actually, like, met him. But again, he would have no idea who I am. Like, I would never expect him to, like, see me on the street and be like, hey, girl. But I did go see him when he opened for... like, I saw him perform when he opened for Maroon 5 in 2021 in Tampa, Florida. But at the time that I found Alexandra Kay and Savannah Dexter, those would have been the most niche fandoms I was in, because people did not know really who they were. Like, and I don't say that as like a diss, you know what I'm saying? I say that as like, I kind of entered at the ground level with both of those artists. And to this day, I find people that have no idea who either of them are. I know a lot of people now, like I know more people now that know who Alexandra Kay is. Like, for instance, there were at least 6 of us from my hometown that all went to the same Alexandra Kay concert and somehow did not see each other. Now, one of the girls that I know went, she is a friend that I had in high school. She commented and was like, I was pretty sure I saw you, but I didn't want to walk up and realize that it wasn't you, which, like, makes sense. But, like, I did not see not anyone from my hometown, and when I posted, like, pictures and stuff from the concert on my Facebook, there were so many people. I mean, there were like 6, like I said, 6 different girls that I went to high school with, or that are a little bit like older or a little bit younger than me, but that we all know each other because this town is so dang small. Where is my putty? Sorry, y'all. I gotta grab some putty. Where did I put it? It was a little crazy, like, the amount of people. So, like, I know a lot more people now who know who, like, Alexandra Kay is. I have introduced people... Where did I put that putty? I've introduced people to Savannah Dexter. Sorry, y'all. I am having an actual... Oh, there it is. Okay. I just stuck it behind too many things. It's fine. I found it. Okay. I'm just going to top off my putty. I'm not actually going to switch it all out. I'm just going to top it off. I need to order some more putty, actually. So I'll have to do that in the next couple of weeks here. Actually topped it off. So. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, so anyways, this smells so good. Also, if you want to know what... This is golden vanilla is what we called it, but it is basically a direct dupe of Marshmallow Fireside from Bath and Body Works. So, if you wanted to know, so it smells like roasted marshmallow over a campfire. That's what it smells like. Anyways, so yeah, I guess at the time that I found them, those would have been the most niche. And maybe they still are, because I do still know a lot of people that, like, don't know who Savannah Dexter is. I love Savannah Dexter. She's been my top listened artist for the last 2 years on Apple Music. Her and Alexandra Kay. So Alexandra Kay kind of tends to come in, like, right behind her, and, like, not by a lot. Like, it's very much like if I had listened to 1 or 2 more hours of Alexandra Kay, she would have taken top spot. So, yeah, I think those are probably my most niche fandoms, if I had to pick a fandom that I felt like was niche, you know? Okay. Number 7. Have you ever been in a fandom with a lot of unintentional drama that went off the rails? So, yes, I have. So I've also just seen it happen, like, from the outside, right? Like, other fandoms where it happens. So, let me think. Okay, so HP was one that had a lot of drama around it when we found out how old, and I don't even want to call it drama because I don't think that that's what it was, but when we found out how, terrible the author was, there was a lot of talk about it. It basically blew up. So she had made a tweet, the author had made a tweet, and this tweet garnered a lot of attention and people saying, like, we have to boycott her, like, we have to jump ship. And there was also just, like, a lot of confusion with that one as to, like, what we were supposed to do, especially because when this came to light, this was, like, late 2019 into 2020. And I feel like the pandemic overrode what was going on in the HP fandom, because we were already, like, people were like, well, we can't let these comfort things go because we're already dealing with all of this crazy when it comes to, like, this pandemic, right? So when that happened, I remember there being talk about it, but there was, like, nothing really done until, like, 2021 into 2022. And I say this because I didn't actually know anything about what was going on until well into 2020. Like, it was almost 2021 before I even knew that there was a problem. Now, mind you, I've never been a huge Twitter person or X or whatever the hell it's called now. I've never been that person. So, and a lot of this popped off on Twitter, like when it was still Twitter before it was X. And so I wasn't actually aware that it was going on until it started hitting more mainstream social media. And I'm not saying that Twitter or X or whatever isn't mainstream. I'm just saying, like, until it started hitting, like, Instagram and Facebook, I didn't see anything about it. Like, people were I had people that told me about it, and I went and, like, Googled it. And that was when I started seeing things, like, on my other social media platforms, but I was never a Twitter girly. Like, I was never a Twitter girly. So there was a lot of, I don't even want to call it drama, like I said, but there was a lot of discourse around that. I also, at one point, okay, here's a fandom that I'm a little embarrassed that I was a part of, if I really had to pick one, and that's Colleen Ballinger. And I wasn't even part of the Colleen Ballinger fandom. There was a point in time where I was a part of a fandom that kind of encompassed a bunch of old school YouTubers. So I'm talking Shane Dawson, Jenna Marbles, and Miranda Sings, or Colleen Ballinger. Now, Jenna Marbles, I will always be a fan of her. She, as far as I know, has never done anything, like, super problematic, or at least no more problematic than what anyone else was doing at the same time. I know that she has, like, left the internet at this point. She left the internet, like, years ago, after apologizing and saying, like, if she'd ever done anything wrong. I don't think that she ever did. I guess somebody that's, I feel like I'm aging myself, but if anyone else was part of, like, the Jenna Marbles fandom and can tell me if she did something, please do. But I don't remember there ever really being anything. I just remember when all the Shane Dawson and Colleen Ballinger stuff came out, she left the internet because she was part of that group. And so I feel like what happened is she felt like by association she was guilty.
And I don't really think that that's true, but she chose to leave the internet. I don't know where she is. I know her husband or her partner is sometimes still on the internet, and people will ask him about her, and he'll say that, like, she's doing fine, but I've never, like, tried to dig into her. She doesn't want to be on the internet, so we should just leave her be. But I loved Jenna Marbles. I also followed Shane Dawson and Colleen Ballinger. Now, I didn't follow Colleen Ballinger as herself. I followed Colleen Ballinger as Miranda Sings. And as a 34-year-old woman, there's nothing really funny to me about Colleen Ballinger, like, or about Miranda Sings. Miranda Sings just is very inappropriate and kind of dumb, and also, like, a mean girl. I'm not really sure, but as a teenager, for some reason, I was very much enamored by Miranda Sings, and I just think it's because I was trying to find myself, to be real. So I mean, if I had to pick one fandom to be embarrassed that I was a part of, it's the Miranda Sings fandom. But again, I don't even want to call this drama because she was found out to be a terrible person, and the thing was, is like so did, I mean, so many people in that space were also found to be terrible people. Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, like all of these people. And so while, yeah, I guess it could be looked at as like unintentional drama, I really think it's just that like people started getting called out for their bullshit. And unfortunately, as fans, like we had to decide what we were going to do. I chose to leave fandoms. I'm not part of those fandoms any longer, which makes me sad because like I again didn't know about the Shane Dawson stuff until way after everyone else knew about it, because I didn't watch the stuff that was problematic. I was watching like his conspiracy theory videos. I wasn't watching like the skits and stuff, so I didn't know that that was like a thing. He had 2 channels, and he had the one that had like all the skits and stuff on it, and then he had the one that had other content that was like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and that was what I watched. I loved the Shane Dawson conspiracy theories, so I didn't watch the skits and the problematic stuff where he was doing like blackface and all this other stuff. I didn't know that that was happening. And so when people started bringing that to my attention and I started like looking into it, and then channels were talking about it, I was like, oh, this is a problem. And so then I stopped watching him. Alright, sorry about that. Anyways, now, the last question is, which of your fandoms has brought you the most friends online, in real life, or both? So I don't really know what we're counting as a fandom, because I feel like anything can be a fandom, right? If you have a group of people that like the thing, I think that anything can be a fandom. So if I wasn't going to niche down fandoms, I do have a lot of, okay, if we do niche down fandoms, I have a lot of friends that also love, like, Gilmore Girls, or love, I, like, back in the day, like, even now I have a lot of friends who, growing up, loved HP, but now, like, it's, you know, we know the problematic issues with it. I have a lot of friends who, back in the day, loved Twilight, but, like, now we also know the problematic issues with that. So I think that if I was going to do a more broad, if I was going to be more broad with my fandoms, I would say that books, like reading and diamond painting, are the 2 that have brought me the most friends online, for sure. I don't know a lot of people in my real life. I know more people in my real life who read, but I don't know very many people in my real life who diamond paint specifically. Now, I have a lot of friends who do cozy hobbies, right? They like knit or play cozy games or whatever. But online, specifically, diamond painting is where my, like, is diamond painting is where my I'm sorry. Diamond painting, when it comes to diamond painting, my community is online. That's where most of the people, like the people that I know that diamond paint, are from online spaces. And but when it comes to reading, I have people in my real life that read. I have people in my online life that read. Now I know a few people in real life, like who diamond paint. But I wouldn't say that it's made me like the most friends. Now I do also have people that have become interested in diamond painting because they've seen me do it in real life, which I think is so fun. I've talked about how my cousin wants to commission me to make him a diamond painting. So like basically he's gonna buy it and then pay me to do it for him so he can hang it up. But I don't know a lot of people in real life necessarily in my fandoms, I guess. But I will say that at 33, I have a lot, or 34, how old am I? I'm 34. But I will say at 34, I do have a lot more online friends, especially with being someone who is online a lot as far as like YouTube and in my book space, in my cozy hobby space, I'm online a lot. And so because of that, I just have a lot more online friends than I do real life friends. Now I do have real life friends, but we aren't necessarily all doing the same kinds of hobbies. And like I said, I have gotten other people into diamond painting, but they weren't diamond painting like before they saw me doing it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we are with that. But I would say probably diamond painting and reading have brought me the most friends, especially online, because when you're in online forums and you're in spaces with other readers and other diamond painters, I watch so much diamond painting YouTube, y'all. It's crazy. I watch so much diamond painting YouTube. I also watch a lot of book content on YouTube. So I think those are the two. I don't know if you would count those as fandoms. I'm going to count them as fandoms because I feel like that they are. Especially like with diamond painting because, well, especially with both actually, because there is like the collection aspect of diamond painting and reading. So there's like the collecting of diamond paintings and the collecting of books. And then there is like the reading of books and the completion of diamond paintings. Now, I'm not a huge diamond painting collector. I like to collect the accessories. I will say that. But I'm not a huge diamond painting collector. I have a number in my head of the acceptable amount of diamond paintings to have in my collection at one time. And I know there are people that have hundreds of diamond paintings in their collection. I'm not that person. I'm just not. I'm not that person because I don't want to have so many diamond paintings that like I would never do them in a lifetime. If I'm buying diamond paintings, it's because I want to do the diamond painting, not because I want it to sit on a shelf for 10 years and then I have to figure out what to do with it if I decide like I don't want to do this anymore. Like I buy diamond paintings because I want to do them. Books are a little bit different. I will buy books that I've never read just to have them on my shelf or whatever. Now there are books that I want to read and I have a pretty small library of books that are unread. I think I have around 80. I would have to do a recount, which I probably actually will do here soon for a video. But I would have to do a recount, and I would actually like to see if I could read down all of my owned TBR by the end of 2026. So I am going to do a recount of those at some point here in the next couple weeks. And I have friends that have, 200, 300, 400 books on their shelves that are unread. And I think that that is fine for them. I don't want to get to have that many just because that's more books than what I'm going to read in a lifetime. probably. So I would like to be able to read the books that I have on my shelf, just like I would like to complete the diamond paintings that I have in my collection. So I'm going to finish out this symbol, and then we will look at how much we got done. But that is all the tag questions. So thank you so much to Sarah for the tag questions. I've been having so much fun with Fandom February, just like working on these diamond paintings. I just love it. I love diamond painting. I love reading while I diamond paint. I love hanging out when I diamond paint. I love watching diamond painting content. Like, yeah, I just really love everything about diamond painting. And I also want to just, I missed part of this. I just want to kind of shout out all of the people that have found my channel in the last little while, because we have grown. That have found my channel that are diamond painters, because this channel, for anyone who doesn't know, started as a book channel, and then last November, so November 2025, I decided that I was going to rebrand, I guess, which I know I need to change my channel art. I'm going to do that, but I decided to rebrand, and when I did the rebrand, I wanted to focus more on like cozy hobbies as opposed to just reading. And I gave people an option. I said, hey, we can do this like one of two ways. Like, either way, I'm going to be rebranding, but I either was going to open up a second channel and then try to funnel people over there, which means like starting from zero, right? So I was either going to do that, or I was going to, I guess while I'm just sitting here, we can continue diamond painting, or I was going to just rebrand the channel that I already had. And so the question that I asked was, is reading, like, do you think that reading is a cozy hobby, or should I put cozy hobbies, mostly diamond painting, on a different channel? And most people voted. It wasn't unanimous, but most people voted that they felt like reading was a cozy hobby. So I was like, okay. The one hobby I knew that I was going to want to showcase on the channel was diamond painting. So essentially, if I had opened a new channel, we would have kept the Winiva going, right? So we had Reading Winiva. That was my channel name. And it would have become Diamond Painting Winiva. So this was to kind of keep everything concurrent. But then I was like, okay. So I put up a couple different options for new names for the channel, and the one that won was Neva's Cozy Corner, because I tried to keep with the theme, like the Winiva theme, and so I actually had asked if people wanted Cozy Hobbies Winiva, and not very many people voted for that one. Most people voted for Neva's Cozy Corner, and so that is what we became. And I do think that the rebrand fits better with what I'm trying to do on this channel. I probably will bring some other cozy hobbies over at some point. I just have to kind of figure out how to do them, like, on the channel. I do talk about, like, cozy games, so, like, I guess I could do, like, my favorite cozy games video or something if y'all wanted that. But I do a lot of different hobbies, but I knew that diamond painting and reading were the two that went kind of hand in hand with each other, because I do listen to audiobooks a lot when I am diamond painting. Obviously not when I'm making, like, content, like, not when I'm doing, actually, let me do H first, I think. Obviously, I don't listen to audiobooks while I'm, like, filming a WIP in chat. But I do listen to audiobooks a lot while I am actually diamond painting, just like on my own. So yeah, but I just wanted to give a shout out to the people that have come over, the new people, whether you're here for the reading content or the diamond painting content or for both. I try with the whip-in chats. Oh no. Why is it so stringy? I try with my whip-in chats to keep them, you know, life updatey. And then my coffee chats can go either way. I just like to have the coffee chats to sit down and chat to y'all. And then Fridays, we're going to start having vlogs again, I think, because people really have asked about the vlogs. And I really got in my head with vlogs, and I'm just going back to my roots and how I was doing vlogs, like at the beginning of my channel. Very casual, week in the life vlogs where we can just kind of talk about everything. I think I felt like I had to have some kind of a theme. Like it had to be a reading vlog, or it had to be a diamond painting vlog, or it had to be something like that. And I don't think that that's really true. I think that it's fine for us to just do vlogs and to talk about whatever. I am not going to be posting my... Well, I don't know. I'm really up in the air about the full reviews because I did really badly with like keeping up with everything as far as like updating. I may try this again just with one canvas instead of two. So there will be full post reviews for both this canvas and my makeup routine canvas, but I don't think I'm actually going to keep the footage from the vlog because it's both of them are very disjointed. I looked over the footage for it the other day. It's very disjointed. And so I think it will just be better for me it'll just be better. I'll probably keep the footage of me unboxing the kits, just so that you can see like everything about it. Yeah, but I think what I'll probably do, actually I probably will keep the footage for these two, but I think what I'll do from now on is I will just include things about diamond painting. Like I will just include like unboxings and things like that in weekly vlogs instead of making them their own thing. So that is really all I have for you today, friends. I'm going to go. Ari should be home from school very soon, so I need to stop filming before she gets home. And thank you so much for being here. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you wanna. It's free, but I'm not your mom, so I can't make you do anything. And I will see y'all very soon somewhere else on the internet. Bye!